My biggest fear for young guys who are getting into dating seriously is being a victim of social media and letting the external world of pictures and topics and people placing thoughts into your mind leading you into hating women, bro. You guys should not do that at all, bro. It's okay to think, wow, it's unfair, but having that thought and not working towards a solution for yourself, as in building your confidence, building who you are as a person, and building your own type of world to even out that playing field, to just complain and start hating women, bro, that is the worst thing for your soul, bro. Look at Andrew Tate, bro. If you listen to that nigga, bro, you're fucked. you're fucked, bro. You're fucked. And I want you to understand that you're fucked if you're listening to people like that who are telling you to hate women. Don't be vulnerable to hurting yourself in a relationship that's not going to go right. Don't go through the lessons, sit there and just complain and critique them all the time and not gain experience. Reject that completely and walk through the fire of learning how to be a man by living your life without hate, but using love, bro. Learn to accept the situation and not hate everything about it.
I'm going to tell you what takes me about videos like this. When I hear things like this, I always wonder what women hate looks like to these people. I need specific examples of what the hatred looks like. This is another thing that takes me. When he mentioned Andrew Tate, he didn't give one example of anything Andrew Tate said. He said, if you listen to him, you're cooked. Now you have to look at it. Even CNN painted Andrew Tate as a misogynist, right? Andrew Tate also got a case for pimping, human trafficking, which the charges got dropped. And it was a setup. Proof has come out that it was a setup. I'm not even no Andrew Tate fan. The Matrix is not the Illuminati buttfuck coalition goat sacrifice that you think it is. It was some other company that's like some feminist shit, and they like linked up with one of the people who used to be his workers, or a couple of them, and paid them to make these allegations, allegedly. But when you have a clip like this,
No such thing as an independent female.
Females don't have independent thought.
it's extremely easy to be painted as a misogynist. And when you have clips like those two I just played, context doesn't matter. How it makes the listener feel or the viewer feel, that's what matters. Saying there's no such thing as an independent female is not the worst thing, but when you say females don't have independent thought, that is something that people could look at as derogatory and negative. So they don't care about the explanation, and they use this to paint your identity. Now, regardless of what good Andrew has ever said about women, how positive his relationships are with women, or anything like that, now you are just a misogynist because of that. Now, I'm not here defending him crazily because, again, fuck the case. He actually was pimping them hoes out, like just keeping it a G. But it's just funny to me how his name is just synonymous with misogyny now. It's just like he is the red pill misogynist. That's what it is. And being that identity has stuck, nothing he says or does matters unless he does a massive 180 and does all types of philanthropy and donates his Bugatti collection to domestic violence or some shit like that. So that's the first point. Let's recap the first point. The first point is these guys who say this stuff, they never give examples of what hating women sounds like. And the reason that's important to me is because a lot of these things that are being said are objectively true. And then even then, a lot of the things that are highlighted are things that women are actually doing that are negative. Like, go back to that first clip. Dudes like this will sit in front of the camera and they would just, don't hate women, just gain some confidence and da-da-da-da. What about the women choosing a bear? What about that shit? Are you going to sit down in front of the camera with that fucking tie and tell them to stop hating men? Are you gonna do that? No, the fuck you're not. And even in that bear shit, I don't know if I would even call that misandry. It's really delusion for the most part. When you get into the conversations around it and how they try to paint a picture of man, it's like, oh, we're just all murderous, and you never. It's still delusion. Like, it's still delusion. We could say it's misandry, but it's like extreme delusion, because these women who are saying this engulf massive assortments of cocks. Like, these chicks be fucking so much. They be the blue hair, pink hair bitches with OnlyFans links and shit like that, talking about they would pick the bear. You would pick the male human cock over fucking breakfast. What are we talking about? And even me saying that right there, is that hate? Is that hate? Even though there's likely some truth to it. We're talking about OnlyFans, like, so I can't talk about them sucking cock. Whatever, man. Let's move on. So the second thing is him saying, the internet is making you hate women. Don't let the internet make you hate women. Don't let the internet plant these joints in your mind as far as these ideas and da-da-da-da-da. I half agree and half don't with him. Let's go to the agree. I think the internet has conditioned a lot of you. If you, it just, not even a lot of you, just a lot of men and women. If you're a woman who believes like you can't go 50-50, you've probably been conditioned by the internet to some degree, because I've been alive for a long time, motherfucker. Like, that shit was not even a conversation amongst the public before 2015. If you were a guy and you believe that you need 6 figures, a 6-pack, 6 cars, 6 boats, 6 planes, to be 6 feet tall, to have 6 bitches to get 1 bitch, like, if you believe any of that shit, you've been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed. You've been indoctrinated. But this is the thing that I understand, that Mr. White Knight, suit and tie, I've come to save the women, Captain Save. This is what he doesn't realize. The conditioning for these things are not one-sided. It is not a red pill conditioning. If we talk about how these guys get conditioned to be like this, before people get to any of these spaces in the internet, they are hearing women on podcasts say these things. And guess what? A lot of the red pill supports that narrative, or a lot of the manosphere supports that narrative, that you need to go and get 6 figures before you even think about women. That if you don't got the height, black pill, and these are the types of things that'll lead a person to black pill. It's like the women are saying this. Some of the men are confirming it. And then you go and look up, like, how can I stop being 6'4" and and then you get to some black pill looks max and shit. And that, what that does there, when you get into those types of spaces, you could even say to the red pill to some extent, and the manosphere to some extent, there are certain things that I don't agree with that you could be brainwashed about even further. Like, you have to fuck 50 women. That's the easiest one to always go to. Or that you need to work on your jawline and have an asymmetrical jawline, and, just all of this shit. Like, so it can fuck your brain up to some extent. So that I agree with. This is what I don't agree with. Him basically saying that if you come to this space, it's going to make you hate women. Let's just go with what he's saying, right? Let's just pretend, and again, we're pretending, just for everybody, we're pretending that everybody here hates women, Everybody here hates women, right? That's what his whole fucking paradigm is, right? If we pretend that's the case, do you think the fucking internet in the red pill space had to train motherfuckers to hate women? Like, just really think about that. Let's look at other forms of hate. There are people who hate black people. Do you think that they had to get on it? They hated black people before the fucking internet. Do you think a motherfucker needs a Wi-Fi connection to learn how to hate black people? No. Let's go to another route. There are people who hate the Semites. They hated them before World War II. So we don't even got to explore an internet connection. Let's go to another demographic. The Rainbow Gang. They were getting hate before the internet. Do you think motherfuckers need the internet to make them hate those people that they hate, as far as the Rainbow Gang? And I'm not talking about not agreeing. I'm talking about actual hate. There are some people who want to hurt these people. I don't agree with that, just to be clear. Do you think that they needed to log online and go to some anti-gay space to get? No. This is another question, because misogyny exists, right? It exists. Do you think it existed before the fucking internet? Of course the fuck it did. Of course the fuck it did. So with that being said, motherfuckers don't need to come here to hate women. There are motherfuckers who hate women who've never been here. Now, let's take it a step further as far as this analysis, right? Let's look at somebody like Obama. Obama, right? Obama gets elected. A lot of people hate Obama. Why do they hate Obama? Most of the people who hate him are likely racist. They are likely racist. We're talking about when he first gets elected. Guess what happens over the next 8 years? Fox News, they smear his name. They smear everything that he does during a presidency. It was so bad, they even tried to negatively criticize him for having Common come and perform. So with that being said, they were a negative Obama platform. So these people who hated Obama, let's go down this, let's compare this to the manosphere real quick. Did they hate Obama before they seen him on Fox News? More than likely. If the first time they seen him on Fox News was the first time they seen him, is it possible that Fox News influenced them to hate him? Yes. But let me take it back a step. Do you think that these people who might have been influenced started hating black people when they seen Obama on the screen? No. How do you think that they got to Fox News? You seen the young Republican group chat and all the racism in there. We talked about the mayosphere the other day, as far as how a lot of them are conservative and there's like overlap between, the mayosphere and their space, even mayosphere spaces, right? As far as like white manosphere spaces online, conservatism and racism. You could even throw some incel shit in the mix when it comes to that. So there's like an overlap between all of that. It's like racism goes hand in hand with what they do over there. But going back to the, young Republicans, they were racist all through the group chat. So it's not a secret that most conservatives, or a good chunk of conservatives, I would like to say most, are fucking racist against black people. They're anti-black. Fox News feeds that, right? So how much influencing do you think Fox News is doing when they already have that bias? So you get the point that I laid out with that. Now we're still pretending that all of this is like we all just hate women, right? Let me tell you something. This shit is not influencing anybody to feel a way they didn't already feel. And that's just me keeping it a G. They got something that they call red pill rage. And the people who typically have that just discovered the red pill. They just discovered it. The reason it's there is because, number one, they likely have had some frustrating experiences, not just one, but frustrating experiences. And number two, things are being exposed about those experiences that they have never heard in their life. And it makes them look at the women different. It makes them look at themselves differently. But this is the key right here. The frustration was already there. The frustration didn't start because of some guy online saying some shit.
Bro, it's okay to think, wow, it's unfair, but having that thought and not working towards a solution for yourself, as in building your confidence, building who you are as a person, and building your own type of world to even out that playing field, to just complain and start hating women, bro, that is the worst thing for your soul, bro.
Now his video is very fluffy and it's not that concrete because it's TikTok and people be trying to get off in just a few seconds. Now, I want to say this. He never used the word manosphere, but, it's dog whistle shit. We know what it is. So the first thing when he talks about confidence and, the frustrations you may have, not only do I offer a bunch of solutions, but guess what? Andrew Tate, the misogynist, he offers in detail solutions on how to develop yourself as a man and gain confidence and get women, etc., etc. And that is one thing that these people miss. I got a long ass video that either dropped or is going to drop soon about my advice to young men. It's a whole video with no clips from anybody else of me just giving advice. Every single significant person on this platform, as far as YouTube, that is in the manosphere, they have some self-improvement advice for men. They have some self-improvement advice for men, and that gets completely overlooked. So they just think motherfuckers is in here like, fuck bitches, I hate bitches. Fuck bitches, I hate bitches. Fuck bitches, I hate bitches. Let me get a nose job and get a knee extension so I can get some bitches that I hate. That's what they think is going on over here. You know why they think that? Because they are not here. And they're getting the shit from CNN. And when they see an Andrew Tate, they don't want to lose no pussy, by listening too hard and actually feeling anything he says. It's scary to them, so they want to shut it down and just continue to, like, stay in the pipeline that'll get them some pussy. They don't want it. They don't want to accept this shit. They don't want to listen to none of this shit. They don't want to hear none of this shit. Let's just condemn them and keep it moving. And let me say it again. I'm not a big Andrew Tate fan. Not really a fan. But it is what it is. When it comes to self-improvement, like, the dude, like, he's given a lot of game. Period, point blank. The dude got crazy muscles. He got crazy money. He got, like, some mastermind shit. And I don't know how that shit works for people. I'm not about to sit here and cap. But, again, I already made the point. A lot of people give game. This is one of the last things I'm going to touch on. What he said was complain and start hating women. That's what a lot of these guys do on, air quotes, social media. They complain and start hating women. Listen. What's done in the manosphere is very unique. And there's a reason why it's necessary. It's necessary because it's really never been done too much before. It's never really been done, like, maybe in Rome, maybe in some religious scriptures, but in contemporary times, in the past 60 years, it's not something that, and probably even further than that, it's not something that's really been highlighted. Female nature. See, it's easy to take highlights and say, oh man, a guy saying women don't have independent thought is so offensive and blah, blah, blah. It's easy to run with those types of things, right? It's easy to just highlight this whole video and write it off as just complaining. It's easy to do that. But when we talk about something like hypergamy, which is scientific, and then we show examples of it in women in real life, as far as regular women and celebrities, that's something to where guys see that and their eyes open and it's like, wow, I didn't know that. Now I know a little bit more about how women operate. We tell them the women are attracted to status. Not all types of status, but different types of status. We give examples. Wow, it makes sense. We look at statistics. Women somewhere in the 70-ish ballpark percentage of initiating divorces, they initiate the majority. Is this misogyny to label that fact? Is it hatred? Or is it just objective facts? Telling men to move cautiously based on the facts. Is that misogyny? Are we complaining and hating women when we say that? If we take me, for example, which I'm not the only person that says this, Jordan Peterson says it. If I say women are chaotic, right? And I give you examples. On the low end, you have a lot of women who love reality TV. That's the type of programming that they watch in comparison to what we watch. We don't watch anywhere near as much reality TV or soap operas as women. Because that right there feeds into their need of drama. Drama is synonymous or falls under chaos. So even if you have a woman that's kind of peaceful, there's a likelihood that she's into some of this type of media. And even then, when I say this, it's a generalization. It doesn't mean absolutely all 100%. But it's extremely common, and it definitely accounts for the majority as far as women being chaotic. But when we look at the far other end of women being chaotic, you have two types of guys. You have the nice guy, and then you have the bad boy. The reason that they love the bad boy is because he is so fucking exciting. He stimulates them emotionally. Hey, guess what? I have seen a lot of women go through turmoil because of bad guys. A lot of men have seen this happen. A lot of men have seen a lot of women go back to these toxic guys. Bad Baby is dealing with a toxic dude right now, Danielle Bergoli. And she's always crying on camera, getting beat by this dude, but always going back. Cassie was dealing with Diddy. She got beat in the hall. Diddy is supposed to be this toxic monster. She made him seem like that in a lawsuit that she wrote out. But when she got on the stand in court, she made herself seem more like an accomplice and a willing participant in the freak-offs than a victim. The reason I lay that out is because not only is the whole relationship with Diddy chaotic and he's like the ultimate bad boy, but when she basically made it seem like she was complicit with everything going on, and man began to highlight that, here come women in droves because she stayed with him, and they came to justify why she stayed with him, even though he was so abusive and he was such a monster. And what they said was, you guys don't know how addictive the cycle is of toxicity when it comes to being in a toxic relationship. Toxic relationships are addictive. I don't know one man that is addicted to being in a toxic relationship or being with a toxic abuser. I don't know one man. This is something that is damn near exclusive to women. And why the fuck is that? Because of the belief that I told you already. Women are chaotic, and this is not something I made up. And this is something that is substantiated. It is fucking proven with so much fucking evidence, like that shit I just told you. Now tell me this. For me, noticing that, observing that, and labeling that based on what women said, am I a fucking misogynist? Do I hate women for noticing the facts? Do I hate women for noticing how they actually are? Do I hate women for telling you who they are and how they behave? That's the thing. Like, these things are very objective. When we get to talking about female nature, they're not highly subjective. You don't go around the internet and hear great counter arguments to these things. I line up videos all the time from people like Texas Garden Fairy, Shira 7. Some of the people who have certain things to say about, the male loneliness epidemic or whatever the case may be, or men needing to provide and da-da-da-da-da. I line those videos up and destroy them. Do 360 windmill dunks all over them. Because the shit that they saying is very weak. It's very weak. Men in the manosphere will debate quite a bit. But this is the thing. When they go to debate, they debate pretty much prescriptions. They debate, should you do this or should you do that? That's what they're typically debating when they go to debate. Guess what they are not debating? Female nature. That's what they are not debating. They're debating about how, you should move around female nature, or how you should move as far as developing yourself as a man in relation to women. Like, just think about all the debates. Most of them are centered around how men should carry themselves. That's what they're mostly centered around. They're not centered around how women should carry themselves or how women actually carry themselves. But when you go and you watch whatever, or you watch Fresh and Fit, or you watch Cooley, like, oh, they get some of the fucking bimboest bimbos and they just do 360 dunks on them as well at that table because they can't provide good counter arguments. Then I'll give it to the whatever podcast and maybe even some other podcasts, as far as some men, they'll have a chick to come on, be like a fucking porn star that got a degree or some shit, and she'll provide an intellectual debate to some degree. But the thing is, like, I've never heard of one of these chicks actually cooking these dudes. These Jubilee chicks that, like, they go on Jubilee and do the 20v1s and get on a podcast. I've never heard of them cooking anybody. Never heard of them cooking anybody from the manosphere, not once. Never watched it myself and said, yo, she got him. Maybe I should do that. And this is the thing, I keep it so real. It's possible that I have a strong bias. It's definitely possible. But I don't think my bias is strong enough for me to go against logic. And I'm going to leave it there, man. I think I touched on this shit enough. And dude is just white knighting real tough. And he doesn't understand what's going on. And he is scared of what's going on. Maybe even misunderstands what's going on. I'll catch y'all.